Welcome to the Anders Farm. In today's video I'll show you our do-it-yourself high-efficient IBC system. I am developing aquaponics system for 17 years now. In the last years, mainly big commercial systems, but my heart is still beating for private system, for small private systems. And so I developed this private system, which is by far the best system I ever did in the size, and also the best system I ever seen. And I'm really convinced that it's not possible for someone who has not extremely experience to come even close to the system. Each unit has very innovative details in it, and all units are working together in an optimal way so that you have the right water flow and that you have the right biological and solids filtration. So the first unit is the grow tank for the fish. We are using 1-IBC, and we are using the drainage of the IBC for the tank drain. Here the pipe goes to the solids filtration, and here you have the valve where you can close the tank. The second thing here is that we use a dual drain system. By the dual drain system and the dimension of the bottom drain, we can have a water flow of 3 times the tank volume per hour and even a little bit more, which means that we have optimal biological filtration and that we have really good conditions for the fish. Beside the dual drain system, we have here a protection for the drainage here, that the fish cannot come in, which is very innovative and which doesn't clog at all, and it doesn't reduce the water flow. And that's a critical factor with IBC systems, that very often at the drainage, if you want to cover it, that the fish don't come in, either it clogs or it's loose or something happens with it. And this here you don't have to maintain at all, it's just working. After the grow tank, the water flows to the solid filtration. For the solid filtration, we are using a radial flow filter. So the water comes into the filter, goes up into the bucket. The water has to flow down inside the bucket to flow up again and to go to the biofilter. By going up again, we are leading the water through helix, through filter material, where we have a fine filtration of the solids. It's not only the really good working radial flow filter, but it has also a fine filter above it. And another thing we have with the solids filtration, we have a conical bottom in there. So if you want to clean it, you just have to open here the valve and the wastewater is going out, and it takes like 10 seconds and the regular cleaning of the filter is done. So it's not a lot of work. Only in bigger intervals you have to make a full cleanage of the solids filtration. Regular cleanage is just 10 seconds, open the valve. So after it goes through the solids filtration and the fine filtration, the water runs through a special drainage system into biofiltration. After the solids filtration, the water flows into the biofilter. The biofilter is a static bed filter, which is, I think, the most optimal system for private systems, not for commercial system, but for private system. With static filters, it's always a problem that on the one hand, solids can settle on the bottom, and the other thing is that the material has to have a good flow, that everywhere bacteria can live and can convert the biologic waste to nitrate. So how do we do this? We have 4 airlifts in the system. Therefore, we have a lot of water flow in there. And the second thing with the airlifts is the solids cannot settle on the ground because they are pumped up again and again. And another point is that we fill the filter up to the top with material, so it's really good filtration, and the water is pumped up and trickles down until the water level, because the water level is lower than the top. Here also you can clean the system very easy by opening the valve, but you don't need this maybe once a year or twice a year. After the biofiltration, we are pumping the water back into the grow tank. Here we have a flow, we reduced it now for the video, but it's more than 3 times an hour of the total tank volume. And we're using only one, for the whole system, we're using only one AP60, but for our customers, we recommend to use one AP100 for the whole system. So you have really, really little energy usage. And this always means if you need less energy, it's more stable, the system. There's no point of failure. And the system is now the 2nd season here running, and it's running without any failure. So how can you couple the system to your hydroponic system? First of all, here we are pumping water into the grow tank, and by pumping, the water level rises and flows here in the overflow to the hydroponic system. Here you can adjust the water level in the system how you want it. It's flexible. You can combine the system with all thinkable hydroponic systems. It's no problem. So you can have a media bed, you can deep water culture, you can have grow towers with it, whatever. You can easily couple the system with this. And without a sump tank, a sump tank is always a bad solution in an aquaponic systems, because it needs energy where it doesn't have to need energy. If you know how, you can always solve it without a sump tank. We have in the grow tank at the moment 250 pieces of African catfish. So 250 fishes are in here, and they are raised up to a slaughter weight of 1.8 kilograms. That's really a lot here, because that's our research system. For private usage, I would recommend with African catfish 100 fish to 200 fish in a tank. What does this mean? If you put 200 fish in the tank and you have a slaughter weight of 180 kilo, you can produce 360 kilograms fish in one run, and a run takes 5 months to grow them out. Depends how experienced you are. Maybe at the beginning you need a little bit longer. So 360 kilogram, that's more than a family can eat fish in a year. You can also put less in, but I would recommend doing at least 100 fish of African catfish. If you use other fish than the African catfish, you can't put so many fish in. That's special for the African catfish, because he lives in rivers where at summertime the water goes away and they dig themselves in mud holes and stay there for 3 months. So they have no problem with the density. With other fishes it's very different. So just make this high densities with African catfish, there's no problem. The system has really, really high water quality. If you want to do other fish with the system, we have also construction plans with more grow tanks, that you have lower density, and it works also fine. But with African catfish, which we really can recommend, it's a very good fish and it's good to hold in an aquaponic system, I would recommend the system exactly how it is here. Even if I show you the system like it stands here, I recommend you to buy our construction plan in our web shop. Not just because I want to sell the construction plan, because it's really, really much easier for you and the system will work. It depends on every little detail, how high the drainages are, how high the pumps are, what dimension the pipes are. And I've the experience that people can't build a system like this, not even close, if they are not really, really, really experienced. And here I don't know what you can improve anymore. Our construction plan has a detailed step-by-step instruction with graphics and with exact dimension and where everything is placed, and even what tools you have to use. It's like a IKEA building plan. It's really, everyone can do it. And we have a detailed product list where every article you need is in the list and where you get it from at the cheapest price. So I am convinced that even the costs of the plan you will save by knowing where to buy the things cheap. The other thing is, if you order all the parts, then it's very easy to build it. You don't have to run again to buy the next one which is missing. So you have a detailed list with every detail in it. You order them, and then it takes maybe 2 weekends for 2 people to build the whole system. I don't think that it's possible for one who is not really experienced to come even close to a system like this. If you're not convinced about this, you get your money back. I hope the video was interesting for you. You can find our construction plan in our web shop at our website andersfarm.com. I wish you a wonderful day and see you next time at the Anders Farm.